Hi, beautiful souls. I hope that you are all really, really well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where I record pick a card readings for you to watch and enjoy. Today, we are going to be doing a general reading for the month of August 2025. So, any messages that you need to know that might be helpful for you in whatever your situation is in August, of course. So because this is a very general reading, you will need to apply the messages to whatever your situation is. Please also remember, as I always say, that time is an illusion and energy is fluid. So the reading is in current energy. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can find all the details in the description box below. If you would like to follow me on my social media platforms, all the details are below. If you would like to leave me a tip, which is, of course, absolutely not expected, you can find my PayPal below as well. I am about to show you 3 different decks of cards. You are going to choose the one that you are most drawn to, and that will be your reading for this for August. Of course, if you want to watch all 3 of the readings, that's completely up to you. But I always say it's best to kind of just choose one to get a really specific message. If you haven't already and you feel to, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to give the video a thumbs up because you enjoyed it, that would be awesome too. And of course, feel very free to leave feedback and comments below. All right, let's get into it, beautiful people. Okay, so the Wild Unknown Tarot is going to be pile 1. The Pre-Raphaelite Tarot is going to be pile 2, and the Edmund du Lac is going to be pile 3. We are also going to be pulling an oracle card at the end of the readings from the Ascended Masters Oracle cards. If you need a little bit more time to select your deck of cards, I will just get you to pause the video because I am about to start the readings. Hello, pile 1. This is your reading for August 2025. Remembering that this is a very general reading, so you'll need to apply the messages to your current circumstances and what it is that you're putting most of your energy into, basically. This is an interesting reading. I really, really love these cards. I haven't used them for many years, but anyway, let's move ahead. This is about you, not about me. We have starting off the 10 of Swords, and I really feel like this is talking about, it's obvious, it's current energy, but I feel like this is energy that you've been carrying for a while. So this is quite like a full-on picture because we have the bull here and there's a sword going through its eyes. So it's like, it's quite, there's some devastation here. This is kind of like the final straw. This is so much stress that it is just, I'm going to use the word mortifying. And I feel like for some of you, because I'm being so strongly drawn to this picture of this sword through the eyes, I feel like whatever this situation is, it's really skewed your way of thinking about things, or it hasn't, whatever this situation is, you haven't been able to see everything really clearly because of the amount of stress and pain and suffering that you've been going through with whatever this is. Your eyes might be sore, your eyes might be really tired, they could be both, but there's a message here of being blind to what's really going on as well, and being blind to some of this suffering that is, probably out of your control, but also that is within your control as well, and kind of how you've dealt with it. It feels really sad. It feels whatever this is really sad for you. And this is really about, swords are always, and I generally read intuitively rather than just by the, traditional meanings of cards, but swords really are about the mind. So this is suffering on like like a psychological level, an emotional level, but the mind has been hurt, your mind has been suffering. And this month, this is going to cycle out this month. So there's going to be the end of this in the month of August. This is going to be stopping very soon. Part of this message is being able to also remember that you can't see things clearly because of this. Clarifying, we have the Father of Wands. This is a great card. This is really, I feel like for a lot of you, this has come about from you needing to really stand more in your power, and you really needing to be more confident with what is going on, and stepping into the Father of Wands is really like the King of Wands. So this is, I feel like this level of stress and what's been going on has come about because you haven't been able to stand in your power as the Father of Wands, man or woman, it doesn't matter. But because you haven't been able to stand in your full power, this has been heavier than it's needed to be, and it's been painful. And Wands is all about fire, right? And I feel like for some of you, this is quite egoic as well, and maybe not really fully applying lessons from the past, or feeling too overconsumed by the mind to be able to do that. But there's like this thunderbolt coming in here now to say, hey, this is an awakening for you. And the cobra is all about like awakenings, spiritual awakenings, absolute needed change. So this thunderbolt, as I said before, I'm really being drawn to, because this is a wake up call for you, because this is the power you're meant to be standing in, confidence, knowing yourself really well, not allowing things to affect you to the degree they are, right? Because there's a fine balance between ego and also feeling and processing the pain that you need to, right? But ego can sometimes stop that process, especially with this particular, the Father of Wands can sometimes, the shadow side of this card is thinking you know everything, having too much pride, being overly fiery and aggressive and all that type of stuff. But all of the cards have that, right? There's a shadow side to everything. So this is more about stepping into that power and the really great elements of that. So for those of you who have been having a really stressful time, that is going to be coming to an end this month. But more so, you need to be aware of that to end that as well. Okay, this is what this whole reading is about, right? So then we have the Ten of Wands, which is really fitting, really. It makes a lot of sense that this is the end of a cycle too, with burdens and stress. But these types of stresses are more so kind of body and stress around passionate creativity, carrying too much, feeling worn down. Maybe some of you, your immune system is down. Maybe some of you have been getting quite sick because you are literally burnt out, is what this card is saying. That's going to be coming to an end in the month of August, if you are aware of this and if you take these messages on. Clarifying, we have the Seven of Cups. So this is being brought about by you. This is another message here about you not being able to see things clearly because there's so much going on for you. This isn't just a reading for someone who has a little bit of stress. This is a lot of stress on many levels, right? So it's really important that you know that, so you don't give yourself too much of a hard time about this, because you're going through a lot, whoever this is. Because of this, this is again a message of not being able to see clearly. You haven't been able to see clearly because of all the things that you're going through. And, you know, the representation here of day and night, I feel, is the yin and yang as well, not being able to balance, not being able to regulate, not being able to make the right choices, or feeling disillusioned and not feeling confident enough to make the right choices with things, especially things around emotions. There's a lot here around childhood wounding or trauma that is coming out and trying to be processed while this is happening. So it's almost like these things that are happening are coming to the surface in order for you to heal them and to actually see them clearly for what they are. This is a big message I'm getting here. I know there's no major arcanas here, but these are important messages for you, because these states of being are not great, they're not sustainable, and they're not healthy. But they're coming to a close, and you're going to be able to see things more clearly. Your final card is the Six of Wands, which is really beautiful. And notice how the butterfly is up here in the light. You can see it very clearly. So there's going to be success with all of these things that you're doing. There's going to be success in you letting go of things, letting go of the mental stress, the physical stress, letting go of the illusions, you know, that have come with that have come with pride and ego, right? So it's going to be coming to an end, and there's going to be a lot of success and rebirth with this. Clarifying, which is cool, we have the Son of Wands, right? So this is coming about through you seeing things in a new way, you being rebirthed into this energy, but in a really letting go of the shadow side of this energy and realizing the positive elements of this energy and coming more into that, because there's a lot of yellow and positivity here. This is kind of like the beginning, right? It's not the beginning, but it's you learning to see things with fresh eyes, with optimism, and a lot of creativity here as well. Renewed creativity, renewed sparks that helps bring about this success, seeing things in a more positive light, seeing things more in the light, seeing things from a new way of being. Because as I said before, the Son of Wands is before the Father of Wands. So this is a chance for you to rebirth into energy that's more constructive and that is more conducive of where you want your life to be and how you want to feel, which for a lot of you, most of you, is less stressed. There's always going to be stresses in life, but it's how you manage it. And I feel like you haven't been able to see things clearly because there's emotions involved with all of this as well. Your card of advice from your higher self is the Five of Swords. So be really careful with making sure that you don't cut yourself in half. That you don't cut yourself off from other people through cutting yourself, if that makes sense. So there's a big, strong message here about, you know, there's some situations in life where it's just a no-win situation, right? Ideally in life there's win-win situations, but sometimes there isn't, right? But in situations where it feels like it's a no-win, that's really an illusion, because it's not about winning. This is all pride and ego stuff, right? It's not about winning. It's not about being right. It's about being able to not cut yourself in half so that you're walking away from something where you're not going to regret what you've said or what you've done, right? If you look at this isn't a clean cut, is what I'm really picking up here as well. There's straggles here. So this really, I feel like, is a lot of self-sabotaging as well. Cutting yourself in half through also cutting others in half, whether you're conscious of it or not, if, metaphysically speaking. So just being very careful of how powerful as well, I'm getting how powerful your stress can be and how it can hinder a lot of things. And you don't want to be doing this to yourself and in turn others, or others and in turn then yourself, because then no one's winning here. It's stressful and you're cutting yourself into, and you're losing parts of yourself through trying to win battles or be right or whatever that's going on for you. This is very ego driven, and it's about, the swords again are about the mind and being analytical and maybe trying to not play games, but I think you get what I'm saying with this card. Okay, so just be wary of this. Now, your oracle card I got from you is persistence. So this is very, very kind of fitting with what's going on for you. And I think that this is really saying that through positive thinking, your dreams are manifesting. They're going to manifest, right? It's going to be really successful. So you're almost there. You just need to keep going. Another message here is it might help you to break large projects into smaller steps so that you'll feel the thrill of accomplishment with each step that you take. And this is stick with what you're doing. For some of you as well, I feel like this is about overcoming procrastination, sticking to priorities and promises, and chipping away at your dreams and desires with daily steps. And, staying positive and visualizing your dreams as if they've already been manifested, and committing to your dreams for the long haul. So pile one, I really, really hope you enjoyed your reading. As I said before, please feel free to leave feedback and comments below. Thank you so much for your ongoing love and support, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, beautiful souls. For those of you who chose pile 2, this is your general reading for August 2025. Keeping in mind that time is an illusion and energy is fluid. And that, of course, because it's a general reading, you'll need to apply it to your particular circumstance or situation or situations. Let's get into it. So, the Three of Swords to start with. This is a very interesting card. This is definitely something that I feel is current for you. And I always say that these readings are current energy, but what I mean is that this is something that you're sitting in at the moment or have been for some time. So there's a couple of messages I'm getting here. There's definitely some heartache. But it's interesting that this is actually, I think this is meant to be a heart, but it's a face. So it's heartache that is connected to the mind. And in that, I don't know how to articulate this very well, but I'm going to try my best here. I feel like this person here is in a hospital, is what I'm picking up. And this person here, there's some sort of angel here that is trying to give divine guidance with this particular situation. It's interesting with the fire here as well. What I'm really getting here is that I think a lot of the heartache or suffering that you may or have been going through, a lot of it is very much, I mean, it's always in your mind, but I feel like a lot of it is due to you being trapped in your mind as well. And your mind, not being kind of clear enough to be able to see things for what they are. And your mind holding you up is what I'm getting as well, holding you up from being able to move past this suffering. There's a dove of peace here in the picture, so you're really being encouraged here to stop suffering. And to know a lot of it is in your head and that you're kind of trapped in your head with this suffering. I think a lot of it has to do with shadow as well. But let's go deeper with this. We have justice clarifying. So for me, this is karmic. Justice is about karma. It's about things being balanced, coming into a line, truths being told, truths coming out. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is like really inner child suffering as well, being brought to the surface, your shadow side. I'm getting this feeling like this is kind of, this reminds me of a picture of what you might call like the devil or shadow side, or this just to me is really indicating someone that's full of anger and sadness, because the face is really red. And as I said before, I think it's meant to be a heart, but it's like your heart suffers because obviously you're heartbroken, but there's also a lot of anger there that's also not allowing you to see things clearly and to move past this inner child suffering that's creating more of this suffering, if that makes sense. This is very complex. I hope I'm describing this. You can understand what I'm describing or picking up on what I'm picking up here. There's divine intervention here. I feel like it's like time for you to know the truth, and I feel like this is kind of representing the third eye. I kind of feel like a lot of this heartache is karmic as well, and it's karmic in that it's meant to be bringing about balance and justice. I feel like you've gone through a lot of suffering and heartache, and you've been kind of a contributor to that for others as well. But now there's time to be a balance. There's time for it to be balanced out and for it to no longer be something where, you know, you're karmically tied to just this continual suffering, especially in your head, is what I'm getting. I think I'm going to pull one more card for those cards because it's funny how I've now put them in back into place with Justice at the top and the Three of Swords clarifying. And I don't think that that's just a coincidence. So if we were to read it that way as well, it would be talking about how karma and justice is catching up with you in terms of heartache you've been through, is now going to be turning a corner. You know, you're going to be suffering less because it's kind of like you've done the suffering that you've needed to do, which sounds awful, but I think you know what I mean. If you believe in karma and you believe in past lives and that sort of stuff, you will get what I'm trying to say here. The other card that I got out was the Five of Wands. So this is really growth from suffering, growth from battling yourself as well as others. But I'm really getting in this card battling yourself, because I feel like all these people look very similar, and I feel like that's all different aspects of you battling yourself is what I'm getting in this reading here. So karma is going to be coming into place. Justice has stepped in to say, okay, this is really a time for you to understand how much suffering you're kind of creating for yourself, is the biggest message I'm getting here for you, okay? Please feel free to leave feedback and comments below with your situation and what it meant to you or what it means to you, and if that makes sense, because there will be different people watching this and different messages for them. But I will move this back to the original placing. So there's heartache here that you are going through that is karmic, and it's here to teach you balance and to find balance within yourself, most importantly. Now let's move along from that because it's quite heavy. The Three of Pentacles clarified by the Chariot. So August is a time for you to be really reviewing yourself and how you collaborate with others is what I'm picking up here. Because we have this person here looking at this statue that I feel like, well, they've been working on, right? And they're kind of looking at it going, probably what I'm picking up here is they're looking at it thinking, look at what I've created, like, look at what I've created, basically. Could I do more? Do I need others' input? What do I think of this is the biggest thing I'm getting here. What do I think of this? What do I think of the work I've done so far? And this energy is moving in really quickly, and I feel like the Chariot here is very much depicting in this reading a yin and yang, and needing a balance, needing to come back into balance within yourself through reflecting on the work that you've done. The work that you've done on yourself, rather than just kind of relying on others to collaborate to bring this into peace or to bring yourself more into balance is what I'm getting here. Then we have, because it's about deciding to move in a particular direction as well, in regards to how much further you're going to come along with whatever this is that you're trying to achieve or you're working on. The end of the reading is the Ten of Pentacles. So there's going to be this potential for you to be making more money in August. I feel like this reading is really saying that if you can learn how to grow and balance through your heartache, if you can learn how to bring balance to yourself, which you have the opportunity to this month, and also you're able to bring yourself bring yourself the peace that you need so you no longer feel like this figure, which would be really uncomfortable. Coming out of conflict, coming out of because I feel like this is representing many aspects of yourself that are trying to fix yourself, that are trying to create balance within yourself and your life. And you're looking at how to do this. How can I create a better version of myself? And there's this need for it to happen quickly, because this is another karmic card, the Chariot, wanting this momentum to come in quickly. I feel like the reflection you can do can quickly move you out of this energy here that isn't serving you, and could then bring you into place where you find more stability within yourself, but with others as well, and your community is what I'm getting. And then I think part of that is also going to be there'll be financial gains through that, or even if it's not financial gains, it's a feeling of long-term stability. Clarifying with the Four of Cups, I feel like this opportunity is coming in for you. And I feel like from the growth that you've been doing and from the self-reflection you've been doing, you're now going to be kind of reaping the rewards of what you've planted. And so when this person stands up, they're going to see this cup that's coming in, this newness, this new vitality, this new emotional sphere of yourself. This is a very deep reading. It's interesting because I'm reading this more intuitively than the actual traditional depictions of the card. And I also I'm just picturing like death or the world as well with this, but more so the world, cycling out of a lot of feeling conflicted within yourself, feeling defeated, feeling suffering because of, Your card of advice, pile 2, is the Three of Wands. So I feel like this is saying that there's two different messages here. The first one is things are going to be moving, energy is going to start moving a lot faster in August. There's going to be a big shift in momentum with things, because I feel like for some of you, things felt slow for a while. Things felt like slow for a while, like recovery was taking a long time. Recovery from heartache was taking a long time, which is creating a lot of conflict within yourself and maybe with others as well. But justice is now coming in, because it's like this was karmic. There were lessons to be learned from here about balancing yourself, balancing your life, learning how to balance heartache and how you feel about it, and balancing suffering so that you're not just sitting in it all the time. The feet on fire I'm really being drawn to, but I'm not really getting a message from it yet, but I'm being very drawn to it. So maybe this is, your feet will feel on fire. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll start like really moving and you'll get this renewed energy. But this is really talking about there's going to be, the energy is going to start really picking up in August. And it's going to be windy. Maybe for some of you, you live in a country or place where it's going to be really windy, but what I'm getting here is once the seasons change or once the winds come, that's when things will really start moving a lot faster for you. So just be ready for that, because things that you've been waiting to come in are going to be coming in, and they're going to be moving. And it's interesting how the picture is faced that way. So it's like you are looking at all this stuff that's kind of been happening. And yeah, I'll get one more for this Three of Wands. Queen of Cups. Things are going to be more, you're going to be more emotionally aligned. Going to, yeah, you'll be in a more emotional alignment. You'll feel more in control of your emotions, man or woman, it doesn't matter. And the waters will start being more still. See here how like the waters are really, really choppy. This is still, this is calmness. This is you providing yourself the love that you need and feeling better within yourself as well. The Oracle card we got you is interesting because it's got a lot of water in it as well. We've got Moses, take charge of the situation. So yeah, this is like what I was saying before about you really starting to take charge, starting to reflect on what you've been putting your energy into and moving forward with that into this grander stability for yourself. So with take charge of the situation, I kind of feel like it's pretty straightforward in that this is really about you focusing on yourself and focusing on what's going to kind of help you move forward, what's going to help you get out of this energy. And if it means calling on like higher beings or ancestors to help you, there's nothing wrong with that. So this is really talking about you having the power to kind of heal and alter the course of your situation. So you really need to decide what you want and be clear about the conditions that are acceptable or unacceptable to you. And the universe responds when you're clear about your aims and intentions, right? So this is really talking openly and honestly about your feelings, making decisions instead of passively waiting. Giving yourself permission to do what you feel is right as well. And the biggest thing is don't wait, take action now and be your own authority figure. So this is being your own leader. Because I think for too long, now it's clicking into place, I think for too long, a lot of you have been controlled by your heart and your suffering and your pain. And I think justice is trying to say it isn't about this anymore. You need to see the bigger picture. The third eye here. See the bigger picture because you've been trapped in this for too long. Pile 2, I hope you enjoyed your very deep and shadow work and intense reading. A lot of intense energy. A lot of you I feel are going through, like, we didn't get major arcana, well, we did get major arcanas, sorry, that's a fib. We got Justice and we got Chariot. These are really big major arcana cards. So this is about things balancing themselves out karmically within your own suffering. And the Chariot's really about moving forward. So I hope you really enjoyed your reading, Pile 2. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below, and I'll see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading for August 2025. Let's get straight into it, shall we? So, as I always say, this is a general reading, so you'll need to apply these messages to your situation, whatever your situation may be. Okay, so we have the Lovers to begin with. So this to me is talking about either a relationship or having to make a decision about a relationship or a decision of some sort that has to do with love, or someone that you have a really deep and meaningful connection with. Or there's something about this connection that is very meaningful, because this is a major arcana, this is a karmic card. So there's a deep connection, and there's something here about thinking about where it's going next, thinking about what it means to you, thinking about your role in the relationship as well, or the connection is what I'm picking up here. I'm really being drawn to this figure here who I feel like is obviously gazing at this person, but I feel like there's a lot of thought going on as well. Clarifying, we have the King of Wands. So there's this need to kind of think about what you want with this, or to think about how you want to show up in this connection or in this decision that you're making. So whether it's a connection or a decision you're making within a connection, or whether it's just a connection and how you need to be in it, well, you'll need to apply that to your situation. But I'm picking up there's some sort of decision around how to show up in this connection, or what you want out of a connection. What do you really want? What do you want to take out of it? What does it mean to you? Do you feel confident in whatever this is? Because the King of Wands is all about confidence and creativity and knowing what you really want and going for it. And I feel like there's some sort of hesitation here, or out of a lack of confidence is what I feel. Or there's some energy here where something is being questioned as to the confidence around whatever this is. The Ten of Swords. There really needs to be an end to something that is not really working out, or that is bringing a lot of pain and mental anguish. And with Strength clarifying, this is really just about having the strength to be able to recognize what this is, and the strength to bring an end to this pain or suffering, but in a beautiful way, in a respectful way, in a kind way, in a way where you are leading this out of strength, but that you're also kind of, with whatever that you're doing here, you need to do this in a way where you're not leading from ego. Because I'm really being drawn to the fact that this person here is being led by this panther or jaguar or whatever you want to call this animal. And really, when you think about it, animals that lead other people or lead animals, they see themselves as the pack leaders or the dominant ones, right? And that's all really very egoic, but in an instinctual sense, they think they're the leader, right? And so therefore they act like the leader. So this pain and suffering that will happen, or is kind of around whatever this situation is, needs to be sorted out and dealt with strength, and it coming from a place of a non-egoic place, a place where everyone is kind of considered, and the strength comes out of gentleness, kindness, respect, and being able to see the bigger picture here. The strength to end something that is not great. And that might simply be you choosing to step up to the plate with something, choosing to be more confident, choosing, yeah, there's a choice here with this as well. And there's strength and confidence needed with this, whatever this is to you. Towards the end of the month, I feel like it's going to be getting a little bit lighter. I feel like you're going to feel in a place where you're kind of that you're going to come to this place of knowing that you need to go with the flow. That you need to go with the flow more with things and try and stop kind of being in control or trying to control things. And that this might be a little bit challenging for you at first. I'm being really driven to the horse here, and the eye makes it look really anxious. For some of you, there might be anxiety around this, and anxiety around feeling like you're not in control, but you are in control. But this is you kind of, and there's a full moon here. So the full moon in August will help you to kind of see things better and see that you can just trust following your feelings a little bit more, and that there's beauty in naivety of things as well. There's beauty in vulnerability. There's beauty in being open to emotions and love and how you feel towards things and how you see things, but it's being able to see them clearly and being able to collaborate. The Three of Pentacles, being able to hear others' points of view, being empathetic to other people in this situation and other people's circumstances and how they work and how their minds work as well, and how people can see things very differently to you. Trusting group work as well. I feel like there's a message here for some of you where you very much rely just on yourself, but that you need to step into the confidence of relying on others. But I feel for you, some of you have been really badly hurt. So it's being able to overcome that hurt and come more into this vulnerable place so you can collaborate more with others. Because your word of advice from your higher self is the sun. So the sun is going to be shining a light on a lot of this. This is really saying being grateful for what it is that you already have. Making sure you're seeing things objectively and from a higher point of view as well, and seeing the positivity in things. Because I feel like some of you can get too caught up in ego and kind of holding grudges, I feel, as well, for some of you, which isn't helpful for any of these situations, really. This here as well might be a message for someone where there's someone that's involved in a choice. But you have to be confident in the choice that you make and step into that instead of being so worried about being hurt. Because I feel like part of this choice is kind of painful, or it can bring you pain, but yeah. So I pulled one more card and I got the Six of Cups. So I feel like for a lot of you, there's a lot of nostalgia around this. There's a lot of inner child healing with this. There's a lot of memories. There's a lot of old pain. And because of old pain, it makes it hard for you to make decisions, makes it hard for you to step into your confidence. It makes it hard for you to know how to be strong without being egoic. Because when you can get past this, you can learn how to collaborate with others and see others' points of view from a more loving space, in a more child kind of like space. And then the Sun is just saying you can, trust with this, trust that you know what you're doing, trust you have the confidence, trust you have the strength. So you've got all these really good qualities happening and you've got a choice. So yeah. Your Oracle card is retreat into nature. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is a heart-based decision as well, or this has a lot to do with the heart, and spending time in some nature would really kind of help you, I think, to see the forest from the trees and ground yourself a little bit more. This is really about growth as well, and especially growth in the heart. I'm picking up heart growth, how you see things from the heart. Pile 3, I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can find all my details in the description box below. And I will see you at my next reading. Lots of love and light to you all. All the best for August. Bye.